this beautiful afternoon is families. You know, and I think of Canada Day, and I think of families, and I think of unconditional love. And it makes me think of my family. And it makes me think of where I grew up, which was in Don Mills. And I came from a very close-knit family, but I was kind of made to feel that whatever I did, it wasn't quite good enough for my father. You know, I came from a family that was highly educated, and when I told my father that I was dropping out of school to try to make it as a singer-songwriter, he was sure that I was, going to be in the poorhouse for the rest of my life, and he did everything he could to try to persuade me to not become a musician. And it seemed like the more he kind of tried to discourage me, the more I felt that I had to prove myself to him. And I think this is a kind of a father-son, thing that happens so often, where the child always feels that he isn't living up to the father's approval. And when my dad died in 2003, I was so devastated that I found that for the first time in my life, I couldn't write songs. And it hit me at that moment, because I'd written thousands until that time, that the whole reason I've been writing songs my whole life was to try to get my dad's approval, to try to get his attention. And when he was no longer here, I felt as though I'd lost my muse. So what I did was I wrote a book. I wrote a book about my father and his history. Oh, thank you. And my history and how we shaped each other's lives through this wonderful combination of love and sometimes hate and sometimes competition and sometimes tragicomic scenes. I had no idea that my book would be published and that it would actually go on to sell better than most of my records. I'm going to play you now the last song I played for my father before he fell into his final coma. And then when I was finally gone through the first phase of grieving, when I wrote this book over 3.5 years, I was then healed at least enough. We never ever lose that hole in our heart when we lose someone that we love. But I was able to move forward and write and record again. The first song I recorded for my new CD was My Father's Son, which is also I Am My Father's Son, the title of my book. So this is for all sons that have ever felt sometimes that they haven't quite, made it in their father's eyes. The strongest man I ever knew never was a match for you. Always wanted your attention, never knew just how to get it, so I rebelled. Tried to be your opposite, I did it well. Strange but true. Got it. The more I tried to be so different, the more I was like you. You were my unsolved mystery, always barely out of reach. At baseball games when parents came, you were always missing, that's okay. You had your meetings and promotions anyway. Somehow I knew, the more I tried to be so different, the more I was like you. Memories die hard, love dies harder still. I forgive you, I have no choice, 'cause when all is said and done, I am my father's son. The first time that I saw you cry was the morning that your daddy died. I stood there in amazement as you packed up your suitcase. I heard you say, son, I need you here to get me through the day. And through your tears, through the boy inside the man, it was suddenly so clear. Memories die hard, love dies harder still. I forgive you, I have no choice, 'cause when all is said and done, I am my Father's son. And what is love without forgiveness? You did the best you could. Let go of the anger. I let go of the anger when I understood. Oh, memories die hard. Love dies harder still. I have no choice, 'cause when all is said and done, I am my Father's son. Always, always be my Father's son. I'll always love you. I have no choice, 'cause when all is said and done, I am my Father's son. The strongest man I ever knew. Thank you. It really means a lot. You know, I'm more known for, you know, my, I suppose my love song.